The battle over teachers, schools, students, and how best to improve our nation's education system is at the heart of Education Nation this week on MSNBC. NBC's Craig Melvin recently visited a school in Ohio where some of the poorest kids are among the highest performers.
At Wells Academy in Steubenville, Ohio, children seem to enjoy learning. Really enjoy it.
How would you describe your school to a stranger?
Amazing.
Amazing?
You can learn a lot.
Your elementary school is considered by many to be the best in Ohio.
Well, we were rated the highest in Ohio this past school year.
Surprising perhaps, since disappearing steel jobs left high unemployment and a corroding Rust Belt town. At Wells, 60% of the students live in poverty.
One thinks kids from poorer families can't achieve, they won't achieve. Our philosophy is the kids walk in the door, they're all equal. No excuses on our part.
It's part philosophy and part approach. Since 2000, school officials have used a rigorous curriculum program called Success for All. There's an intense focus on reading and math. Every school day starts with 90 minutes of uninterrupted reading.
After you read, your partner reads too. You have to retell what they read so that you can ask them questions.
Then it's on to 75 minutes of math.
If the kids can compute and problem solve, they're going to be good in sciences and so forth.
Let's go over number one again.
There's also a different teaching style here.
Teachers were used to so much teacher talk, and they had to step back from the role of being the one in control 100% of the day and constantly talking, and let the students have time to talk.
It's kids helping me out, just regular kids.
And this is every day or?
Every day. When they struggle and I understand the question, I explain it to them.
At night, parents are asked to sign homework proving they've participated.
Homework was pretty intense. Like, wait a minute, I got to look this up myself.
Success for All isn't a fad. It's been in school since 1987. Today, there are roughly 1,000 schools in some 47 states, including Roosevelt Elementary here in Dalton, Illinois, that use the program. Wells Academy started in 2000. Soon after, their state reading and math scores among fourth graders consistently reached 100%. Today, all but a handful of the 320 students read at or above grade level. Despite the numbers and banners, though, there are critics. Some teachers complain the program is too rigid and restrictive. Their daily lesson plans are scripted.
It's a regimented in the sense that no one is shooting from their hip. If that's what we want to call regimented, then that's what I want.
Success for All does call for regular testing so teachers know precisely where students are, because at Wells, struggling students get tutors. Individual attention, time on task, and an emphasis on the basics. That's how they're changing the equation and making the grade at Wells Academy. Craig Melvin, NBC News, Steubenville, Ohio.
It's a great piece, and that school is the brainchild of Robert Slavin, who is the Director for Research and Reform Education at Johns Hopkins University's School of Education. He's also co-founder and chairman of the Success for All Foundation. Bob, it's great to have you here, and when you hear the news from that piece that 60% of those students living in poverty, and yet you hear about a success rate like that, why aren't other schools more apt to jump on board and learn from that example?
Well, I don't really know. We do work with 1,000 schools across the country, and that is a lot of schools. But why this has not become something that's part of the overall conversation about school reform, I don't really understand it, because the research behind it, the ability to go to scale, has been demonstrated for many years.
When we talk about children that are living below the poverty line and education basically being the key, the ladder to a successful future, in recent years, especially since you started Success for All, how have you seen these changes implemented in different schools and the success of these young students?
We work in schools of all different kinds, from inner city Detroit to the Bering Straits of Alaska to Indian reservations to all different kinds of districts. And we've had success across all of those different types. I can't say that every single school is successful, but every type of school, we've shown a great deal of success and have done a lot of research to show that the gains that are possible if you simply decide to take the achievement of every single kid very seriously.
There are gains, but there has also been criticism, Bob, of people say that this program does sacrifice individuality or creativity, that education is more than just the basics of math and reading. So how can schools ensure creative diversity, but also ensure the basic comprehension skills for math and reading so that they can compete not just with students inside our own country, but when we think globally about the students around the world?
I think the experience that kids actually have and the teachers actually have in Success for All are exactly what every parent would want for their kids. It's way more than just math and reading. It's not a rigid approach. In a way, Success for All schools are what you would imagine if Sesame Street ran schools or if Disney ran schools. The kids are having a ball. They're very engaged with each other. They're working in cooperative groups. Teachers are teaching their little hearts out. We're very focused on making sure that every single kid is succeeding and that we're very much aware of where kids are and what kids need. But the kids are having a wild good time. The teachers are really doing an outstanding job of teaching and making it their own. Using a lot of creativity and a lot of energy to make it all happen.
Well, and as we see with the example of Wells Academy, also getting parents involved to make sure that they are paying attention to their children's schoolwork, active participation from them. Robert Slavin, thank you, sir. I appreciate you taking time out for us. I want to point out for everybody, tomorrow, both President Obama and Mitt Romney will talk about their education plans for the country. President Obama will do so in an interview with the Today Show's Savannah Guthrie, and Mitt Romney in a live interview in this hour with NBC Nightly News anchor Brian Williams.